Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha Turner, and I'm the Health Initiative Coordinator for Piedmont Community Services. And for this wellness video, we are going to be tackling financial wellness. And we're going to be talking about 5 tips for getting out of debt. So just to start this video, I want to make sure that I put out the disclaimer that I am not a financial advisor or a financial professional. These are just some general opinions and general facts for getting out of debt that you can find on the internet if you want to learn more information about them. It's just something to get your mind in the process of thinking about how you can get out of debt faster. But if you would like to speak to a licensed professional and financial advisor, I would highly encourage that because they're going to give you more specific tips and more individualized tips to help you with that financial freedom. But let's get started. So, the first tip that we're going to talk about is creating a budget. So, a budget's going to be really important because this is going to help you figure out where your money is going each month. It's going to help you track those expenses and it's going to help you track your income. If you don't have a budget, then you probably don't have a plan for your money. In that budget, we want to make sure that we're covering all of the essential items. So this is going to be like your mortgage or your rent. It's going to be your utilities, so water, gas, electricity, all of those things. It's going to be your bills, like your internet, your phone bill, um, all like any other bill that you're paying, and then your gas and your groceries, and then any other essential items that you do need to pay off each month is going to go into those essentials. The expenses that are not as essential are going to be things like going out to eat at Chick-fil-A or going to one of the local Mexican restaurants. A non-essential item is going to be getting a coffee at Starbucks every morning, um, going shopping with family and friends. Those are things that are not going to be essential in your budget, but they are something that you could make room for if it's something that you are going to prioritize. But you do need to make sure that you are meeting those essentials and paying those bills off first, and then the fun things are coming later. One of the things that should be included in those essential items is your debt. So, your credit card debt, your loans, student loans, house loans, anything, car loans, anything that you have debt on, you definitely need to put a line item in your budget each month to pay that off. The second tip is to prioritize high interest debt first. So we want to focus on those debts that do have high interest and pay them off first and quicker because that's going to help save you money long term. We also want to make sure that we're paying the minimum amounts on those lower interest debts because if we're not paying those minimum amounts, then those debts can increase and there could be some negative repercussions for not paying off those debts as well. So while you're prioritizing those high interest debts, we do want to make sure we're paying off those other debts as well at the minimum payments, but we do want to focus on those higher interest debts and make sure we're paying off those a little bit quicker. So that leads me into tip number 3, which is to make extra payments. So on those high interest debts, we want to make extra payments each month as we can to be able to get rid of those debts quicker. Those extra payments can be added towards the principal payment to pay off that debt even quicker. If you add that extra payment to the interest, then it's just going to pay off that interest. And then the next month, it's still going to be the high interest rate on that same principal amount because you didn't pay any of the principal down. You just paid the interest down. So we want to make sure that when we're making those extra payments, it is getting allocated towards that principal payment instead of the interest payment. Again, this is something that you can talk with a financial advisor about, and they can give you a more detailed explanation of why this is important and how to actually do it within your debts and in your loans. The fourth tip is to consider refinancing or consolidating your loans. When you refinance or consolidate your loans, especially if you have multiple loans, then you can probably get a lower interest rate or you can get lower monthly payments on all of those loans, which then makes room for that tip number three, which is to make extra payments. So maybe if you consolidate them or you refinance them, and you have a less amount that you have to pay each month, then you can allocate more room in your budget for those extra payments to help you pay off all of your debts even faster. Again, this is something that I would recommend that you talk with a financial advisor or a loan specialist first before you get into this option because it is something that you want a professional to help you with. And then tip number five is to stay motivated with milestones. So our debts, especially if they're large debts like 50,000, 100,000 plus dollars, it can be very overwhelming to feel like you're never going to pay that off. You can pay that off and you will pay that off, but you do have to stay motivated throughout the long journey to get that paid off. And to do that, you can set short milestones which is gonna help you stay motivated through the long haul because you might not be able to pay off a debt within, a few months or even a few years. It might take you 10 plus years to pay it off, but it is something that's got to keep a priority on your list to be able to pay off those debts and pay them down and then pay them down as quickly as possible to get rid of those debts as quickly as possible. And to do that, you set milestones. So a milestone could be maybe that you set a goal to pay $500 extra a month for the next 3 months on a certain debt. And then after that third month, when you finish that last 500 payment, that's a milestone that you reach, and that's something that you can celebrate. I want to encourage you to keep doing this every time that you are working towards paying off those debts. And before you know it, they're going to be paid off. So that is some of the tips that I wanted to share with you to improve your financial wellness. And you can scan the QR code on the screen here to tell us any topics that you want to hear more about to help you improve your wellness. Have a good rest of your day.